stand by. This is Dampfbierbrauerei Zwiesel Schmelzer Hoibe. Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer. Did you get all that? Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This was a challenge to even work out what it was. I had to do a lot of research on this. This is this is brewed by Dampfbierbrauerei Zwiesel. They are a microbrewery from Bavaria in Germany. This is a Helles. I had to look that up. I didn't know what it was without opening it up, and I haven't opened it up yet. Dampfbierbrauerei. That translates to steam beer brewery. Now, there's a few steam breweries, and I'll get onto what steam breweries or how they get their name. Schmelzer it means melting in German. Hoibe, I don't know what that means. I can't work that one out. Maybe if there's anyone German who speaks German could let me know, that would be interesting. But it's a Bavarian Helles, from what I can gather. It is entirely in German, and that is really inconsiderate for someone like me who refuses to learn German. It's got shank beer on the back of it. I don't know what shank beer is. I don't know much about this. I don't know much about this brewery. All I know is they're a microbrewery, they're independent. They didn't have room originally in the 1800s when they were first founded. They didn't have room to allow for cold fermentation. So all their beers were top fermented. Now this is a Helles, so it shouldn't have been top fermented, and I'm assuming they've got over that sort of problem now. But that's all I know. And some bloke called Pfeffer, I think his name was, or Pfeffer or something. He's the one that owns it, and it's the 5th generation of his family that own that now. I got this from Beers of Europe, and I really didn't know much about it. It was cheap, it was German, and they said it was a Helles, so that's good enough for me. So let's investigate this beer a little bit further. Right, it's 500ml bottle, 3.5% ABV. That is unusual. Normally the Helles is around 5. It's got shank beer. Oh, is that the date? I don't know. It's got shank beer on it. I don't know what that means. Whether that's a style of beer. Schmelzer Hoibe. Hoibe is the ginger. I can't even fucking read that, honestly. I'm not even going to attempt to. I'm going to make myself sound like a complete and utter idiot. Not that I am anyway. Yeah, that's all I can get. It's got quite a nice label. I do like that label. Very traditional. It's got some bloke throwing coal into a fire. Now I'm assuming that's for roasting the malts. Very interesting. Right, let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Bavarian Helles. I know what I'm looking for, and if they deliver, I will be very, very pleased indeed. This is a Bavarian beer, as it says on the cap. Yeah, Bayerisch beer. Bayerisch, of course. Bayerischer. That means Bavarian. I'm going to pour it into a Franziskaner glass. I've just took down another glass. It is absolutely disgusting. That's going to go straight back into the dishwasher. I didn't get the doodah out to wash my flip. Right, what have we got on the nose? Oh, that smells weird. That smells like a top fermented beer, not a Helles. It smells sour, spicy. Sour and spicy from the yeast. Like musty, dank. There is some malt in there coming through now. But there's some sour esters, and I'm sure they're coming from the yeast. That's weird. I've had a few beers that have smelled sour recently, and it's unnerving me a little. I've just tried that Away Days football beer, the West Ham one. Oh, it was disgusting. But that smelled sour as well. And it had about that amount of carbonation in it as well. That is cloudy, or hazy, as the craft beer ponces like to say. Naturerb in German means naturally cloudy. So the Germans use the word cloudy, not hazy. So when you refer to a Weiss beer as hazy, you're talking bollocks. Wow, look at that carbonation. Can you see that? That is a lovely golden straw colour. But the carbonation is fucking insane. And for all that carbonation, there is no head whatsoever. Flat as a witch's tit. What are we getting on the nose? I've got a feeling this might not be a good one. I really hope I'm wrong. I'm getting sweet malt from it, which smells promising. Actually, this is reminding me of that Calvors, the British Helles that was brewed over here. Very similar. I hope it doesn't taste like that, because that wasn't that great. Let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. That is very similar. And I do believe I owe the Calvors Brewery an apology, because this is a micro-brewed German Helles from Bavaria, and it tastes very similar to what they do. This is not what I'm used to. If you'd told me this was a Bavarian Helles, I don't think I'd have believed you. For me, the true Bavarian, or the best Bavarian Helles, Einga, Paulaner, and of course the best of all, Augustina. And it doesn't taste like this. And it's weird. It's very weird, because this is 3.5% ABV and the Calvors was 3.4. So I think what's happened here is, now I can't prove it, but I think Calvors have copied this style of Helles, and this is the first time I've tasted a Helles that tastes like this. This is not your average German, well, Bavarian Helles. It hasn't got the sweet malt. It has like a sour touch. It reminds me a bit of Keller beer. Now, Keller beer is super cloudy. They call that Naturerb as well. That's got that on the bottle, the Keller beer. I tried the Hacker-Shaw Keller beer the other day. It's got Naturerb underneath it. That is cloudy. This has some cloudiness to it, but it's very clear compared to the traditional Keller beer. But I'll tell you something, the Keller beer did taste like that. The malts were a little bit sweeter, but it had that slightly sour taste. This has got it even more. It's okay, don't get me wrong. It's quite clean. There is a lemon sourness to it. Now, lemons are bitter, I know, and I said this in the Calvors video. and I think the flavours are almost identical, and I gave that a 5.5 out of 10. So by rights I should give this 5.5 out of 10, but I feel a bit of a fraud now because this isn't bad, and I think if I revisited that Calvor's I may get it. But they called it English lager, so that's what threw me. They called it English lager, and then they called it a Helles, and then I tasted it and it tasted nothing like a Helles. So this is where the confusion comes from. That explains this, and this explains the Calvor stuff. It's perfectly drinkable, it's light, it's sessionable. I will say the malts are nicer on this, but you'd expect that from Bavaria anyway. The malts are slightly sweeter, and you do get a bit of a sweet back end on it, biscuity back end. Or is it? No, it's more bready, more like bread rather than biscuit. But it is nice. So what's the verdict? Well, I didn't know what this was. I bought this almost sort of like a pig in a poke. I didn't know what it was, and it was cheap, so I thought I can't go wrong. Then when I saw it was a Helles, a German Helles, I thought, yeah, go for it. I bought the Calvors along with it. I tried the Calvors the other day, and it annoyed me because they'd called it an English lager, then called it a Helles, and then got it tasting like this, and I give it 5.5 out of 10. I'm now questioning that decision. Maybe they were copying this style of Helles. Now Helles is Helles, you can say. It is, but there's good ones and there's mediocre ones. To be honest, this doesn't compare to the Paulaner or the Hacker-Shaw Münchner Gold or the what's name, the Iinga, or the Augustiner stuff, which is brilliant. Oh yeah, even the Kronbacher stuff as well, you know. But well, Kronbacher's Pilsner, isn't it? So I'm sort of confusing the two issues there. But certainly the other ones, and they're all Bavarian. But it is a Bavarian beer. They've called it a Helles, and it tastes like this. So what do I give it? If I give it more than 5.5, I'm a hypocrite. So what I'll do, I'll give this a 7.5. I apologise, Calvors, if you're watching this, and I will put it in the description, and I will revisit your Helles, and I will take it, comparing it to this. Now, you may think that's a bit of a fraud and I'm backtracking, but I sort of get what they were doing now. I tried that Calvor's blind. It said English lager and then Helles, and I wanted to try and see what they were doing, but the words dropped a bollock spring to mind. But yeah, I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10, and yeah, I recommend it. And if you can, get on Beers of Europe, if it's still in stock, buy some Calvors and compare the two. I may even do that for a next review, and maybe Calvors will forgive me and send me loads of free beer, and I can be fucking spouting off how great their attempts at German beer are. But there you go, 7 out of 10, recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.